we are on to episode 7 of Batman Caped Crusader. And after how fantastic episode 6 was, like I said, I have no complaints about it. The episode was really well done. Time to see if episode 7 will hold up and it will continue the trend of doing something really good with this. Let's look and see. So the episode starts off with Barbara Gordon now getting one of her clients off because she's a public defender. And already I'm rolling my eyes because, this race swap Barbara Gordon is in way too much at these episodes and way too prominent in everything. But that's what we're getting in regards to this. So she and her father have a discussion where he's telling her that, the guy who she got off, apparently he was a criminal who did something and he flipped on somebody and got off, and the father's telling her that, are you proud of yourself? He should be in jail. And she would talk, if the system was this and the system didn't that and the system didn't. And I'm like, okay, the system apparently was supposed to care about all of this nonsense, but that's what she's doing. Because, she's all, I'm a proud woman who knows what I'm saying, and the system should do what it's supposed to do. And because the system doesn't do that, I'm doing what I have to do. I'm a lawyer, I'm defending people and all of that. Yeah, because that's supposed to make sense, that we're all supposed to care about. So they go outside, and a man comes out there and pulls a gun, aims it at them, and is going to shoot, only to get shot by Jim Carrigan, who's Montoya's partner. And yes, this Jim Carrigan character, apparently, he was one who became the Spectre, but not in this, apparently. He shoots him, and then they let Commissioner Gordon know that apparently somebody has put a hit out on him. So his life is in danger now. Okay, we get to that and all of that. Right. So they need to get Commissioner Gordon into protective custody. I'm going to take a moment to say, boy, I mean, you don't say, well, but I mean, Montoya real thick, boy. I don't mean fat, I mean like thick. I mean, you're a man of culture, you understand what I mean by thick, but all right. So, yeah. So, Flask and Bullock want to go after every crooked so-and-so who could have put out this hit and, find out who it is and get this done, because they don't want anybody showing that some common criminal could go after the Gotham City Commissioner of Police. But Commissioner Gordon doesn't want any underhanded business being done. They'll handle this or they're supposed to and get everything done. So he orders Flask and Bullock not to do anything like that. He then goes in and has a talk with Barbara Gordon and Montoya, because Barbara wants him to go into protective custody. He doesn't want to do that, because he needs to discuss these things with the two women who are most prominent in this, because, all the other men are a bunch of idiots. Now, at this point in the show, would have been fantastic to have, Commissioner Gordon having a kind of strained relationship with Batman. Like, Batman could show up and he's like, I still have to arrest you, but he still wants to help him and all that and work with it. So you begin to see some progress with that, because let's be honest, Commissioner Gordon and Batman are two of the greatest friends it possibly have. And Commissioner Gordon has no idea who Batman is, but that's kind of their whole thing. So this would have been a great episode to actually have that start to move forward. No, that doesn't happen. But what are you going to do? So yeah, after listening to them go on about how he should go into protective custody, and he's saying he doesn't want to do it, and he's going to be handling it, and he's handled threats before and all of this, because all of this needs to happen. So Montoya tells Barbara that they will that she will make sure that her father remains safe and do everything possible to keep him that way. So she goes back to her office and sees this watching this picture there of when she graduated from law school, and there he is with her and all of this. And then who shows up? Batman. Because apparently, we're joining Papa way to up because she's there looking at this thing and then looks across and bam, there's Batman. Because God forbid Batman goes to Commissioner Gordon. No, he has to have a relationship with Barbara Gordon because she is much more important than anybody else because she's a woman. You understand me? Much more important than anybody else. I can already start to see that episode 6 was a one-off. Can already start to see that. Yeah. So Batman tells her that he is looking into the threat. Sources have told him that the hit came from inside Blackgate. So he's going to look into that to try and help. So guards are there in Blackgate. Batman comes and sees one of the guys and finds out from him who ordered it. But then the guy told him that, it's too late. The contract, when it wasn't fulfilled, the amount of money was doubled, and that now new assassins have arrived. And then all of them show up there. And I'm kind of like, yeah, they all look the same. It's like, I get it. They even have some diversity in the group here because that's what they're trying to do, but they all look the same. That's the weird part about it. They all look the same. And who are they all working for? Big reveal. Onomatopoeia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, do forgive me, all I'm terrible with names. And his whole thing is that, apparently, the thing about him is that he was a villain actually created by Kevin Smith, right? And his thing is that he could actually fight something like that, but he says everything he's doing. Like if he doing a punch, it's like whoosh, push, swish, bash. It's really weird and annoying, but somehow pulls it off to make it kind of interesting. So yeah. He showed up with his crew and they have taken up the mantle of they are now going to finish the contract and kill Gordon, right? And then Batman goes to see the man who put the hit out. He knows all of that there. Gordon comes home and finds them all there, and they're telling him that he needs to go into protective custody. He doesn't want to hear. So of course Barbara Gordon starts and says that you sleep like 5 feet away from this next door neighbor, and you're putting this entire community in danger and all of that. So he decides, okay, he's going to go and do it. They all get into the car and take off. Batman is trying to find out what's going on, going after them. They're driving along there when suddenly they get attacked, right? Because the people who are attacking them kind of hijack a police car and they're shooting it up. One of the officers gets hit, and they're all out there trying to do this. They manage to maneuver them and they crash and die. But the car is damaged and they need to get this guy who's injured somewhere. So they go as far as they could, but the car shuts down. So they have to hoof it and they go to Wayne Gardens, which is this housing estate that the Wayne Corporation is building. And to go into there, they find one of the model homes. Onomatopoeia and his crew show up. They find out exactly where it is, following the oil trail, and they realize where it's gone. So Batman is trying to find them as well. They're inside the house there. Like the guy who got shot isn't doing well. But they have to try and find some way out of this. All of this now is to talk about how Barbara Gordon and them grew up in some area outside of Gotham that was a little more expensive. Look at, this whole kind of shit about how she came from money. Like, that apparently they expect somebody to care about. I don't even know why they put this nonsense in there, but that's what they're doing. So the hitmen show up and start shooting the place up because that's what they're doing. They're trying their best to stop them as best they could. Batman shows up and starts to fight them as well. Barbara Gordon is fighting off these thugs who break in as well. They're trying to offer. She's kicking. I thought that high heels to the face would hurt more, but whatever. So Batman faces off against Onomatopoeia, who again dodge, swish, whoosh, bash. It's really ridiculous. Yeah, but like I say, you could fight. They're fighting them off there as best they could. You know, Batman ends up taking him down and goes and tells Commissioner Gordon. And this was the one twist in this episode that I could actually say was actually kind of good. He tells Commissioner Gordon that he managed to get the whole contract cancelled, but he was never the target. Turns out the target is Barbara, and the same police officer, Kerrigan, decides he wants to take it, he wants to fulfill the contract because it's a lot of money. Right? He ends up he's gonna make it seem like the guy who they knocked out shot and killed her before he could do anything. Gordon comes in and shoots the gun out of his hand. Barbara shoots the gun out of his hand, and then Barbara decides to actually knock him out with a punch. Yeah, because apparently, you know, he has a glass jaw. And that was that. He locked them up, and Barbara goes to see the man who put the hit out on her. And his whole reason for doing this is that he figured he should have gotten better treatment, right? He is all, he doesn't deserve to be in Blackgate. He should have been sent to a better institution, and he finds she didn't do her job good enough. Now, my thing is, people, if you go through the trouble of putting out a lot of money, right, a lot of money to put out a hit on her, then doubling that amount, enough to bring in this crew of killers and actually cause a police detective to want to actually kill her as well. If you had all this money, why didn't you just escape? It's not to say like the guards at Blackgate aren't extremely corrupt, because they are. All you have to do is just pay them, and they will open the door and turn them back, and you could escape. And with the money that you have, you never need to come back. But no, your idiotic plan was to send people to kill her because you figure you didn't get a good enough deal. Escape, dumbass. Then you wouldn't have to worry about any of that. But no. And he's all, he doesn't deserve to be here, and she didn't do enough. And then she tells him, no, this is exactly where you deserve to be. That's it, because that's the way this is supposed to go. And that's the end of the episode. Like I said, the only thing I found really interesting about this was the twist that, you know, it wasn't Commissioner Gordon who was the target, it was Barbara. When you find out the reason, it's a lot of ridiculous pile of nonsense. So yeah, apparently episode 6 was a fluke, because we're on to episode 7 and this was not good at all. My final rating for Batman Caped Crusader Season 1 Episode 7, I'm going to give this one a 1.7 out of 5. I thought, this just wasn't good at all, people. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.